Buddy, Barry at CTech-review. Today, we're going to do a video doing a installation as well as about 2 months of ownership now on the Thinkware U3000 Dash Cam. Before I did this video and before I do any product reviews, I typically try to get a little time and see what do I actually think about the product. Is it easy to install? Is the app easy to use? Does the product work good? Any issues? So this is why I typically try to get a good 30, 60, 90 days of using something before I give it my blessing or just kind of give my feedback on it. Let's get into this. There's a lot of dash cam options out there right now, and a lot of pretty good ones, to be fair. But some things that I've been liking are ones that the apps work really good, number one, because then if an incident or something happened and you want to get it on your phone, that's good having a good app feature. Secondly, I like ones that are low profile and kind of sleek to the window. I think that's a pretty slick option. As far as adjustability, how do they mount up? How's the wiring? How does the wiring run? And then the other thing I kind of look at is, how does the wiring come out for the rear facing camera? I kind of try to look at all these different things. And as far as how does the loop, can you run 24/7? Backup, all these little things, these little nuances I kind of look at. And so far what I've seen, I'm pretty pleasantly surprised how well this Thinkware works. And I really like what it looks like when it's on the window. So let's get into the kind of unboxing and I'll kind of show you a little bit about this. Okay, so what do we got here? This is the Thinkware dash cam. This is the U3000, gives you a 4K ultra high definition. A lot of really cool technology with this. There's so much that has came to the market of dash cams in the last few years as far as pricing and just the options. The thing I really like about this, and I'm going to show you here when I open the box, is the look of this. Pretty nice boxing. There we go. So I like this kind of low profile, how it sits back a little bit. I just think it looks a lot more sleek. You got your USB connection ports on the back as far as your auxiliary plugins, battery, and your SD card. This is a nice setup, and I like how obviously the camera is adjustable on the front for the height. You could put you can actually put a different lens on this as well. And then you've got your connection point. I'm gonna pull the rest of the box out here, just show you what else came in here. Okay. Another thing now I have noticed that I really, really appreciate, two things. The fact they're using a 3M VHB adhesive, top notch. Secondly, they give you an extra one in case you get it in a spot where you're not happy, you got a spare. I love that. They also, this is something I haven't seen before, is this heat blocking film that you could put up on the window prior to installing your adhesive. And clearly you can tell they like 3M products. You can see even for running all your wires and everything. They even give you a little trim piece, which is nice. Here's the SD card. I think this is 64 gig. My eyes are so bad I can't even read what that is. Yep, 64 gig. And then we've got our wire that we're gonna connect this into the, we're gonna connect that into the 12 volt. And then here's a little polarizing lens. We probably won't use this. I haven't needed this on the last one, but at least you can kind of see what's in the box. Got a pretty nice little manual. It talks about the warranty, but this looks like a pretty solid setup, and I really dig how low profile this is. All right, let's go install this now. Oh, and here's your SD card spot. All right, and that's what it looks like final installed. I really like how this tucks up in here. I ran it all along the sides, down, came through, came across, and then right now, short term, we're gonna run it through here. Long term, I might try to sneak the wire up and connect it through here, but this is a pretty slick setup. I really like how low profile this is. All right, here's real time going down the road. That was recorded from the app, and I'm just gonna walk you through how logging onto the app works and just take you through the different settings. You can kind of see what we've got our settings and cards set at. There's a lot of different features. No surprise, you can play around with different languages, different record settings, and this is all real time. I'm not speeding anything up. I just wanted to show you guys kind of how it works. Now, what we're gonna do now is see what does it look like live. This is real time. I jump out of the truck here, just kind of wave. You can kind of see the refresh rate, get back into the vehicle. I'm curious to see if we see the vehicle move when I open the door here. Maybe, maybe not. But the other thing I liked about this app as well is it gives you how do you say this? Okay, so here's your live videos that are all recorded on the app that you can download to your phone. The other thing I like is it gives you guidelines to make sure that your camera is set up correct to the hood and the front of the vehicle, so you know it's set correctly to record before you start using it. Pretty neat. Okay, so if you want to purchase this, you can go about it a few ways. You can go over to Amazon and you can check this out. Thinkware's got their store. You can see this with the different options, front and rear facing camera. As I mentioned, I've only got the front facing camera hooked up at the moment. We're going to try to get the rear here set up a little later when we can kind of get up into that rear opening for the lift gate. Kind of adds an extra approach. But anyhow, here's the pricing, and they've got a lot of different options if you're not interested as far as on Amazon. Or the other option is go over to thinkware.com, their store, and you can kind of see their dash cams. This is the U3000. Here's the front and rear. Kind of see it's 13% off right now. As I mentioned, I think one of my favorite things about this is just kind of how it sits. This setup is really cool as far as how it sits in the window. Kind of sleek. Obviously, this camera is adjustable here. And then I also like that. I want to show you something else. This back display area here is pretty nice. It's easier for record. And so far, I've not had any issues. We've been running this setup now for about, oh man, what, a month or so? And I wanted to get some time in this before I did the video on this, just to make sure like this thing's not, you know, a turd. And it seems to be really good. So I don't have any issues. It seems to connect okay with the phones and everything is good. And if you want to save a little bit of money, you can get the mini battery, so you don't have to. It's a little bit more money, but the advantage of this, especially like with the Ram RHO, I kind of like not having that, you know, pulling and drawing on the 12-volt battery in the vehicle. Or you can just do the, let's see, here's the hard wiring kit. It's a little cheaper, that option as well. Let's see, what's the other option? Here's the extra battery. So then you can get a bigger battery. Yeah, lots of different options, but hope this helps. Okay, so now, after using it, what do I think? Is this the best one out there? You know, it's hard for me to say that necessarily. I think it's a really great one and it's a great value for the price and what you're getting, what it looks like, how sleek it is, front, rear facing cameras, and some of the discounts right now. I think it's a pretty good product. I definitely like this, and we're gonna be doing another video here soon installing the same setup on the Bronco. The Bronco brings some little different challenges than the Navigator or the Ram as far as running the wiring. So if you know and you watch any of my other videos on dash cams, one of the things I like to try to keep in mind is when you're running the wires above, you got to do it in a fashion where you can squeeze it in between the headliner that it doesn't impact how your airbags are supposed to, side curtain airbags are supposed to come down. That's a big deal. I want those safety things to work correctly. Second thing, I also don't particularly care to run the wiring for the dash cams on the bottom of the flooring because of where we live. Living in a Midwestern state where you're seeing a lot of rain, a lot of snow, a lot of salt, I don't like putting stuff below the carpet because you get potential issues with salt or corrosion or dirt or rain. And we use these things off-road. So I've been really trying to figure out, specifically thinking about how are we going to do this in the Bronco. And we can't do it on the roof because we take the roof panels out all the time in the summertime. We don't want like exposed wiring. I got to try to see if there's somehow I can snake it through like the roll cage. But then I'm like, what if I remove the rear facing cameras, the wiring dangling? So I got to really think about how I want to do the rear facing camera on that. I like having the rear facing camera set up on vehicles. It's pretty nice if you can have 360 degrees of coverage versus just front facing. But I find sometimes the difficulty is how you run the wiring and some of the challenges, specifically in off-road vehicles with headliners above or roll cages or carpet, stuff getting wet down below, as well as vehicles like Jeeps and Wranglers and Broncos or convertibles where the tops come down or off. That's another thing you got to think about. Plus, at that point, if your top is off, what if it does rain? Where's the wiring? Is it exposed? You got to play all this into your specific vehicle. But for your run-of-the-mill vehicle, it's not as hard to do. So what would I say after installing this? Installation, super easy. Was no problem doing this. Product works great. I've not had one hiccup. It starts and works every time. I think it's a pretty nice setup. I definitely would give it 2 thumbs up, and we're going to be doing another one on the Bronco here shortly. So I'd love to get your guys' feedback. Have you guys used this dash cam before? Do you like it? Are there other ones that you think you like a little bit more? Leave your comments down below. And if you're interested in purchasing this one, I'll put 2 links down in the description where you can purchase this model if you're interested. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, a little outside the scope of doing traditional automotive reviews, but we are trying to expand the channel. And also guys, if you do like this channel, give me a thumbs up. It sounds silly, but this does help a lot with getting more exposure and giving more content to you guys out there. And if you like it a lot, feel free to subscribe, turn the notifications on. Thanks for watching.